Hello, this is George with the Harmony Trading System, and we are reviewing June the 30th, trading NASDAQ Futures 100. And if you are looking, this is going to be the sped up version of the trading session. I compressed it so you could spend about 5 minutes seeing all the trades that we took. If you're looking for the full session, you can find it on YouTube and on the link below this video. So let's get started. So we're starting off really looking at this market from the short perspective. The 200 and the 100 were in sync, and we took it and started to look for an entry point on the short side, and we ended up taking this one signal and ended up making about 252, got into this transitional zone and then got out. Now the next one, we could see that there's a bottoming behavior that the market did early on around 9 o'clock, put two captain setups, and I got into two contract and left a very tight stop and took it out for $52. Then I jumped right back in when the market made a switch trade. So there was a bottoming behavior in and around that 354, 366 zone. And eventually this market runs up and gives me a little bit more money. And then it makes a significant move, definitely a significant move. So here we go, we took that trade. So we're up at 563. And now we get a captain setup switch trade. And that is a very high probability event. And I just got in there at the conclusion of that follow-up candle. The market is still early on the longs from the swing trade perspective, but we took the scalp version of this trade and we ended up making a little bit of money, up 730. Now the market runs, then runs and runs and runs, which is great. But we are coming into the FOMC number, which is at 570. And in that run up, I start to get short. Every time we get into first touch behavior toward that big number, you get either a buy interest or a fading depending on the initial direction. So we start to get short. Market ran into the 80s and the 90s a little bit, but failed the 600, and I added into that wave of selling, of buying interest, and I had a stop above that formation and above the whole number. Now, I just wanted to make sure that this thing does not just continue to go higher and higher, but felt very solid that we should get an actual reversal here. And it's a bit of a fade, and I typically don't do those trades, but the market really ran up solid into the FOMC number. So that was a good bet, and I had a small risk ultimately. And I covered couple just to take some of my risk out, just in case the market does some weird stuff and start running up. So took two off, left three out of a 5 contract. Then the market came into the 71, which is the middle of the range, and that's an area where prices can rally back up. And I took two off, and then tried to hold on to this one for a little bit longer. It paused at the middle of the range, and my cost basis is not deep enough in order for me to hold on to that trade any longer. So ended up reducing my risk and moving my stop lower, and then waiting for a flush, and then I covered that trade right in the middle. So we ended up making an additional $400 plus dollars, and we ended up at $1,200 for the day. And that kind of concludes my day, really, in a way. But what we're noticing is the market is doing a V recovery, and the day is not over as of this moment I'm doing this video. And it just to let you, just to tell you that you have to be flexible in your trading, and you have to be able to see the turns and see the early parts and early signs that the market is changing personality. And that's what we ended up doing today successfully. We had 6 decisions 5 of them in the live room, and I had one trade that I made $117 at night the following day. And that is how we started and ended the day, 1200 on 6 decisions. Have a good one.